So what if you found out that the thing that you wanted to do so desperately was suddenly taken away from you? What if you found out the companies that you had partnered with to do the thing that you wanted to do suddenly said, nah, we can't do that? That is what has become of a lot of the print-on-demand artists who are trying to make a living doing the thing that they want to do, like I want to do. They're trying to make something out of this time, but unfortunately, this time has created a very weird situation for all of us, and now we can't do the thing that we wanted. But we have options, and I'm gonna talk about it. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Dave Connery, and I'm an artist and designer based in Southern California, and you're probably noticing I've got new digs. Yes, this new office space my wife and I created to, number one, help her have a more hospitable environment. Number two, a space for me to work, because very soon I'm gonna be pulling all of these videos, or at least some of these videos, out of the dusty, dirty studio and bringing them here so that we can do better things. I just want to give you a little bit of a tour of what's happening here. Number one, I've got a big flat desk area. I've got over here, I've got a printer, and I've got my charging station. Underneath here, I've got a giant file cabinet. I've got some extra space here, and I'm gonna get myself a big 27-inch monitor. It's coming in the mail. I'm gonna have my laptop here and my tablet so I can draw on things, and that way I can do really cool tutorials on the different platforms that we talk about. It's been a long time since I worked on a large monitor. I used to do it when I worked for a magazine company, and I miss it. I miss it a lot. So I really want to get back to that, having that dual monitor set up. So it'll be fun, but we'll see how it works out. So here we got my art here in the background. In case you were asking, yes, I did paint that one. You can get a good look at it. Also got this bookshelf back here, which used to be just chock full of stuff, but we cleared it out and made it a little bit more YouTube and Instagram friendly. I did not paint this one right here, but I did paint that little thing right here. That's my love in a jar that I made for my wife. Now there are some other things here I need to fix, like I need to put this little vent thing. Well, we've got to get a new one. This one's all dingy and dirty, so we got to get a vent thing. There's a big old hole in the ceiling. Got to fix that. Some wood issues that we got to fix, and I'm probably gonna need to get a fan in here because it's a little warm. We used to have window coverings, but we don't have them right now, and we're gonna try and figure something out. But in the meantime, it's gonna be hot as in here, so we need to get that fixed. Once we have that, we should have a really good working environment, and you'll see me in here more often. I don't want to talk to you just about this room. What I want to talk to you about is Printful and Printify, which are two services that I use. You probably heard me talk about them before. I use these services to help people get the stuff that I want to make. So let's say shirts or mugs or pillows or socks or leggings. I use Printful and Printify to create those products. I make the design, I give the design to Printful, they produce the product once somebody buys something. It's all print on demand, it's all done direct to garment or direct to thing, and whatever the thing might be. That has been a really good, fruitful situation for me for a while, except now. The only reason it hasn't been the greatest situation for me right now is that COVID is a mother of bad juju. What used to take maybe 10 days maximum to produce something now takes up to 30, and sometimes in some cases, depending on the thing, up to 6 weeks to get produced. Had this plan to create all this new merch, all this new stuff based on some of the art that I make, and I've got a secondary shop that I was gonna do a bunch of stuff with that too, and I haven't even launched that one yet because of these extended timelines. Even on my own website, daveconnery.com, you can check it out if you want, no obligation. I've taken down pretty much all of the clothing that was done direct to garment. I just didn't feel like it was a good time for me to having these items up on my shop, because if somebody wanted to buy something and they couldn't get it turned around quickly, I didn't want it to negatively affect my brand or my business or anything. I want to be able to provide for people in the right way. People aren't clamoring for shirts from me, so if they are gonna buy a shirt, I want them to be able to get it in the timeline that I promise, instead of this abstract idea of a promise that I can't really back up right now. But now there's two different providers that I use. I use Printful, that's my number one. That's the one I've gone to most of the time because it's really the easier one to operate under. I really love Printful most of the time. Right now, they're not my best friend. Most of the time, I love Printful. Unfortunately, besides the fact that they are having these extended production timelines, they have also no longer allowed me to put up any new product in the direct-to-garment area. Whether it's any kind of print on demand on things that are all over garments, like say pillows or leggings or whatever, or shirt designs. Anything that has that kind of orientation, they will not even allow me to put a new item on. There's another video that you guys can see. I'll show you how it works. Not gonna work like that right now, but you can go check it out if you want. That whole process is basically unavailable. I can do certain things like mugs, some other random things like beach towels. People aren't clamoring for beach towels on my website. People really aren't clamoring for anything on my website, but nobody's reaching out to say, Dave, I really need your artwork on a beach towel right now. I am making a few things on mugs because it is something that I use on a regular basis and I know a lot of people buy into them, so I do like that. I'm not exactly sure how long this is gonna last. I don't know how much I'm gonna have to endure. I don't know how long it's gonna be before we get business back up and running with Printful. It is the status quo. There's not much I can do about it unless I go over to Printify. Now, Printify is a similar company. They operate a little bit different. They're more of an aggregator than they are a printer. They have different partners all over the country, all over the world, and what happens is when I upload a design, I get to pick which partner I want to use. And some partners only do certain things, and some partners operate on larger scales and can have quicker turnaround times, and you get to choose which partner you want to use. But all Printify does is they take my file, and then when somebody orders, they send that order to that particular partner. That's all well and good, and it's been pretty good, and their production times are actually a little bit better than Printful right now. The biggest problem I'm having with it is that with Printify right now, anytime I create a new design, I have to upload it, and then it sits in this ridiculously long fulfillment queue just to get processed in order for me to put it up on the website. It literally sits there for hours before it becomes an item in my shop. The speed of the website is marginalized dramatically right now because of so many people operating on it, and sometimes when I do get through that whole process of uploading the file and get it all processed, it gets to the very end. I'm almost ready. I'm like almost number 2 in the queue, number 1 in the queue, and then failed to upload. So I sit there and I waste hours and hours of my time to do this, and nothing happens. Then I have to go through the whole process all over again. So Printful is really tough right now because they can't fulfill anything that I'm doing. Printify is really tough because they can't even technologically get it handled. So I'm trying to work with these two partners, but neither one of them can accommodate me the way that I would like. And I understand why this is happening, but it's frustrating. And if it's frustrating for me, I'm sure it's frustrating for thousands of other people who are doing the same thing. But it is not the only answer. Sure, maybe you sell your stuff on your Shopify shop, you sell stuff on your Etsy, you sell stuff on eBay, maybe you sell through the Amazon merch alignment with Printful or whatever, and none of that's working right now. But is that the only print-on-demand option for anybody? No. You know what I would do in this situation? You know what I'm going to do in this situation right now? I am focusing 100% on my Redbubble shop because it's the only place that has an adequate amount of traffic and has no production timeline issues, at least from a technological standpoint. I don't know how long it's taking them to produce the kinds of things that they need to produce. They are a major purveyor right now, so they may be suffering from it as well, but I haven't seen as much pushback from them as far as like, well, production times are 6 weeks. I haven't seen that yet. So in the meantime, I can go and take my art and put it up on Redbubble, or I can put it up on Society6 is another option, or I can put it up on TeePublic, which is a sister site to Redbubble. I can put it up there and get it out, and at least is generating some income for me if I'm hitting the right spots the right way. Now, being successful on Redbubble is a whole other bag of tricks and probably way deeper than we can get into here. In fact, it is way deeper than we can get into here. I couldn't even possibly begin to tell you all the nuance to that. There are people on YouTube who know better about this than I do. I actually follow some of their techniques. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. My work doesn't necessarily fit into the general public art that I'm trying to put out, that everybody else put out there. I don't do that work. The little catchy phrases about not before my coffee, or I hate Mondays, or hey, I'm Irish too, kiss me, stuff like that, that's not really my bag. Those things are popular, they probably sell well, that's not really what I do. I don't operate in the same spectrum of some of those people, but if you do that thing, more power to you. If you want to make that type of work, go for it. But I'm not going to be able to tell you how to be successful there because that's not really my experience. Maybe in the future, we'll see. I guess ultimately what I'm trying to get at here is that, look, we all have our problems, we all have our issues, we're all dealing with a lot of different stuff here, but the path that we're on isn't necessarily the only path. There are plenty of roads to that place. Maybe sometimes we might have to take multiple roads at once. Physically, yeah, I know that's impossible, but we We divide and conquer somehow. We send our troops out different ways, and you've already created the designs for whatever it is you're gonna make. So if you're already doing print on demand stuff, then why not just take that extra time that you can't spend on Printful, that you can't necessarily spend on Printify, and put it towards Redbubble, put it towards TeePublic, put it towards Society6, put it wherever you feel like is best gonna suit your people, and then maybe, just maybe, you start earning a few bucks here and there. Promote the hell out of it as much as you can, and share it wherever you can. And when everything comes back to normal, then you get back to all the things that you want to do with Printify or Printful. But here's an added bonus about the Redbubble thing that you may not have recognized before. Let's say, for instance, you put your stuff up on Redbubble and something hits, something goes really, really big. Well, then you know that, okay, I can take that design eventually, I can put that up on my Printful shop, I can SEO the heck out of that thing, and then I can sell it for even more margin. Or you can go even one step further. You feel like you're really hitting big with a particular design, maybe, just maybe, you make those designs yourself. You go and get them screen printed, you pay the extra money to get it done, then you bring it home, then you ship directly from your own website, and then you make all the money. These are just ideas, folks. I don't know. We're gonna have to see where things go, but for now, that's all I got. And since that's all I got, I'm just gonna sit right here and say, hey, thank you for paying attention. I appreciate you. If you have thoughts or comments about this conversation, please leave them below. Let me know what you're doing. What are you doing as an alternative to some of the problems that you're having with your production? If you're not having any problems with your production, then good, then just leave me a comment to say hi. And while you're headed down there to the comment section, make sure you like this, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you hit the bell button so you never miss any of my videos. And then, of course, be so kind to share this with all of your friends. That's it, folks. It's hot and sweaty in here. I'm gonna go. I mean, it's not sweaty in here. It's hot. I'm sweaty. I'm gonna go. Remember, folks, be good today, be better tomorrow. See ya.